Hello and welcome to another session of Riding the Bear, where we show you how you can find your next 2x to 100x no matter what type of market conditions you might be experiencing. Now you're in for a treat today because we're going to be talking about how to get a 20x multiplier when you stake your VSL tokens. Now this show is brought to you by the Skylabs and VSL ecosystem. My name is Ryan. I am so glad to be your host today. I do want to invite you to be sure to grab something to take notes with. So whether that's an old school notebook, I know I have a whole collection of notebooks over the years, or you're taking notes on your device, whatever the case, be sure to take notes. Be sure to ask questions and make sure you get your questions answered. We're going to be dropping some knowledge today, and I am so excited for that. Now, whether you are a veteran in our community or you are brand spanking new, today I'm going to show you how to best utilize, hands down, the best research tool, which is the CrowdX Calendar and VSL platform to help you find your next 2x or 100x gem. Go ahead and drop a comment letting me know how long you've been a part of the community. Go ahead and drop it in the comment section. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of the VSL ecosystem since early October, right before VSL launched, and it has been an absolutely wild ride and such an adventure and so much fun. So without further ado, we're going to jump straight into what you're probably curious about, what you're excited to learn about, and that is going to be the multiplier. Okay, that's going to be the multiplier. And I really love numbers. Okay, I really love numbers. Okay, Stars says that she joined today. Hey, Stars, welcome. Welcome. So you want to talk about brand spanking new. Welcome to the VSL ecosystem. Welcome to the community. So glad that you are here. Be sure to make sure that you get your questions answered. There's no such thing as a silly or stupid question. This community is all about people working together and coming along together to support each other and getting the kind of results they want to get in this space. So with that, what we're going to talk about just briefly today is the idea of getting allocation shares and royalty shares, okay, when you stake VSL tokens. Okay, now you already know that when you stake VSL tokens, you get allocation shares and royalty shares. You may not know that when you actually hold VSL token, you actually get a multiplier. Okay, so what you can see on the screen right now, this is a calculator that a fellow community member had made, and I just made some modifications to it. Now that we actually know the numbers and you know what the breakdowns are going to be, there's still some more development to be done, but it gives us enough to actually work with. Okay, so we'll just go through this, and I will share this with you. Okay, I will share this with you. You'll have instructions on how to use it, and so you can just play around with the numbers. Now, so first of all, if anybody remembers, what's the minimum amount of VSL tokens that you must stake? Okay, what's the minimum amount for you to stake in order for you to receive allocation shares and royalty shares? Go ahead and type that in the comment section, just sharing, what you know about the platform. How many VSL tokens do you get to stake in order to get allocation shares and royalty shares? Now, as you're typing that in the chat, you will see something right here that says lock-in bonus. That means that whenever you stake, you can actually withdraw your tokens as long as it's not within the first 72 hours. And if it is within the 72 hours, there is just a small fee to cancel that early. And so Overtaker and Stars on the money. Both of you said 100,000. You're absolutely right. You get to stake a minimum of 100,000 VSL tokens to get one allocation share and one royalty share. Aaron with 100,000. Right on, right on. So the lock-in bonus. Now there are going to be packages available where if you lock in for a period of time, there's additional bonuses with that, which is pretty cool. And the whole idea is it really wants to support community members who are interested in supporting the project and locking their tokens in. Now Louise is saying that she cannot see not seeing the calculator. Just out of curiosity, what are you guys seeing on your screen? Because on my end, I see an Excel document with some green and yellow bars and numbers, and that's what we're getting ready to go over. It sounds like some people may not be seeing it. Sleepy says, just stake your bag so you don't have to do math. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Hey, can you guys let me know? Can you see my screen? Right now I'm showing the Skylabs VSL calculator. Give me a thumbs up or let me know if you can see my screen right now and you're seeing the same thing. Because like I said, on my end, I see it. I want to make sure that that we all can see it. Okay, perfect. Okay, so if you can't see it, I'm not sure why. Crypto Dread says his screen is black, and Louise, she was having a problem as well. So maybe hop off and hop back on and see if that fixes it. I am glad to know that some people can see my screen, so that's helpful. But thank you for letting me know, Louise. I appreciate that. So 100,000 VSL tokens staked, and that's going to give you 1 allocation share and 1 royalty share. Okay? 1 allocation share and 1 royalty share. Now, the beautiful part about this is that you can stake anything over 100,000. Okay? So if you want to do 155,000, you're going to get 1.55 allocation shares and royalty shares. Pretty cool. Okay. Now, like I said, lock-in bonus. You're able to get a bonus for locking in your tokens for a period of time. Those are going to be announced here soon. So in the version that you have access to, I've left that at 0. In this version I'm working with, we're just going to play around with it today. And let's say that you get a lock-in package and you're able to get an additional bonus of, let's just say, this is totally arbitrary, let's just say 5. Okay? Okay, so the difference here is, if you just stake 155,000 VSL tokens, you're going to get 1.55 allocation shares and 1.55 royalty shares. But if you lock that in for a period of time, and you got a bonus of 5, you're now going to get 6.55 allocation shares and, let's see here, right, this plus this, there we go. And you're going to get 6.55 royalty shares as well. Okay, so there's extra bonuses for locking those in. It's a really cool feature to do this. Now, one thing I do want to make note, this note right here, it says, you are not required to select lock-in package to participate in the Skylabs Launchpad pre-sale allocation and royalty revenue sharing opportunities. However, the lock-in staking packages do offer additional bonuses for those who want to take advantage of them. So it's pretty cool. Totally optional. But if you do take advantage of it, there are perks for that. So that's pretty straightforward. So the way this top part works is you type in the amount of tokens you want to stake. Let's just do a random number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 12,345,678. Okay? That's going to give you 123.45678 allocation shares and royalty shares. So that's how that works. You literally put the number that you want to stake in the blue box, and then the yellow box tells you how many allocation shares you get, and the green box tells you how many royalty shares you get. Really simple, really straightforward. Here's where it gets really fun. When you hold VAHL token in the same wallet that you staked from, you get a multiplier. Okay, you get a multiplier. This is really cool. 10,000 tokens, you get a 2x multiplier. Okay, so literally, if you just staked, you got 123.45678 allocation shares, but if you hold 10,000 VAHL, you get double. You get 246. So double the amount of shares simply by holding VAHL token. Go down to the next line, tier 2. When you hold 25,000, you get a 3x multiplier. So instead of 123, you get 370. Tier 3, you get 100,000 VAHL in the same wallet. You get a 4x multiplier. 493. So instead of 123, you're now getting 493, 4 times the amount of allocation and royalty shares. Tier 4, 500,000 VEDR in the same wallet, you get a 5x, 617 allocation shares and royalty shares. Diamond 1, you're holding 1 million tokens, a 10x, 10 times the amount, and you're now getting 1,234 allocation and royalty shares. So instead of just getting 123, you're now getting 1,234. Diamond 2, 2.5 million gives you a 15x. So instead of 123, you're now getting 1,851 allocation and royalty shares. D3, Diamond 3, the tip of the spear, the cream of the crop, 10 million VEDR tokens in the same wallet, you get a 20x multiplier. So instead of 123 allocation and royalty shares, you now get 2,469. That is absolutely game-changing, just simply holding VEDR token in your wallet. This is absolutely bonkers and bananas, because if all you did was hold VEDR in your wallet, that's a huge, huge win. But when you hold VEDR in your wallet, you get access to a whole host of things that we're going to go over here in a moment. So before we change gears and go into the CrowdX Calendar, the VEDR ecosystem, and things like that, I do want to open it up to any questions. Can you feel free to drop a question in the chat if you have a specific question. Phyllis has a great question. Thank you, Phyllis. Allocation shares and royalty shares. Okay, allocation shares would be projects launching off of the Skylabs platform. Allocation shares means that you get to put in a certain amount for your contribution. Okay, and just this is strictly for funsies. Okay, we don't have the actual numbers here. Okay, we don't have the actual numbers, but let's just say that one allocation share is a 0.01 contribution. This is just for funsies. Okay, just for funsies. But 0.01 equals one allocation share. Okay, and so now you would be able to multiply this by 2. Okay, that's how that works. So if you held VEDR tokens, 10,000 VEDR tokens, instead of being able to contribute just a 0.01, you'd be able to contribute a 0.02. Okay, this is just real simple math. This is not actually how it's going to work. Okay, I just want to make sure that I'm clear on that. Okay, but if you were to be a diamond 2, you get a 15x multiplier. Okay, and you'd be able to multiply your 0.01 by 15, which is 0.15. Okay, that's how the multiplier works. Okay, we don't know what the allocation shares are going to be yet. There's different things that play into that. It also goes into account the amount of community members who are contributing to those projects, but we will learn that as we go on. But right now, the numbers that we have are the straight math, simple things, and that's what we're seeing now. But that's what allocation shares are. Now, royalty shares, we could say the same thing. Okay. With allocation shares, it could be 0.01, it could be 0.1, it could be 1. It doesn't really matter at this point. It just means that you get a multiplier on that amount, if that makes sense. With royalty shares, we could call it the same thing. Okay, we could do the same thing. We could say that a royalty share could be, $1, or let's call it a penny. Let's just do the same thing, a penny. Okay. And so when you stake 100,000 VSL, you now get 1 royalty share. And royalties, that's coming from the buy and sell tax off of the VSL token. And eventually, when those taxes are shut off, it will come from revenue generated from the launchpads, from VSL, which is VEDR Skylabs Launchpad, or VSL, which is just the open launchpad. And so, again, I'm not saying that it is a penny. I'm not saying that it isn't a penny. I'm just using this for an example. So if you were to stake 100,000 VSL tokens, you would get one royalty share, and you would receive quote unquote a penny. Okay. If you were to have tier 1, you would double that, and it would be 2 cents. Okay. If you were to have diamond 2, you'd 15x that, and it would be 15 cents. Okay. We could call it $1. We could call it 10 cents. We could call it 5 cents. We could call it a penny. It's totally arbitrary right now. Okay. It's totally arbitrary. But when we do change these numbers, let's go back to our fictitious number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 12,345,678. Okay. Now we have 123.45678 times 0.01, $1.23. Okay. And we can look at the multipliers down here. As a diamond 2, it would then be $2.46. As a tier 1 rather, as a tier 1 with a 2x multiplier, $2.46. As a diamond 2, it would be $18.51. 52 cents. So that's how that works. Okay, totally fictitious. Okay, totally fictitious. These numbers are just for funsies. Okay, but that's how that works. Allocation shares are what you're getting into when one of the project launches. You're able to contribute, just like a pre-sale. You're able to contribute into that launch, and the amount of allocation shares is going to determine how much you're able to contribute. Royalty shares is basically your piece of the pie. So based on the buy and sell tax coming in, based on the revenue being generated, the amount of royalty shares is your piece of the pie split amongst everybody else. Again, when we launch and have numbers coming in, this will be a lot more. It'll be a lot easier to understand and wrap your head around whenever there's actually real numbers to tie to it. Right now we just have the basic math. So, anybody else have any questions on that? Phyllis and John, thank you for bringing that up. The difference between allocation shares and royalty shares. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any other questions? Yeah, Nisham says, wow, didn't realize we're almost at 3,000 subscribers. Yes, we actually, in the last 6 days, we've gained we've almost gained 1,200 subscribers in the last 6 days. Okay, 1,200 subscribers in the last 6 days. We're getting around, I'll do an official update later, but I think we're getting around 50, 75, I'm sorry, 100 to 150 new subscribers every day. It's pretty cool. Rocking and rolling. All right, so does anybody have any other questions as it relates to the calculator, how to utilize it, how it works, and things like that? Anybody have any questions on that? I'm going to drop this in chat so you guys can use it and play around with it. Okay, and the way this is going to work is when you open up this document, the first thing you want to do is you want to click File, Make a Copy. Okay, you want to make a copy of it so you save it to your own Google Drive, and then you can edit it. I was seeing a handful of people were saying that the document doesn't work, and I checked it on multiple devices, and I asked some friends to check it, and they checked it, and everything worked out just fine. Okay, so that's how you're able to have access to this document. Right now it's locked, but when you make a copy, you go to File, Make a Copy, it saves a copy for yourself, and then you can edit it and do everything that you want to do. Sanjay asks, how can I get on the whitelist? Sanjay, I invite you to go check out our Telegram, and there is actually a lot of information there where you can look to get a whitelist spot. We're actually giving away 1,000 whitelist spots for the pre-sale, and that competition is going to end on Saturday. So today is Tuesday, so you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you got about 4 days left. to get in there, get in the game, and solidify yourself a whitelist spot. Like I said, we are giving away 1,000 whitelist spots, so good luck to those who are going for that. So before we wrap this up with the calculator, oh, Sanjay says, I've done everything in waiting. Hey, good job, brother. Just keep it up. Keep it up. It's based on a scoring system. So the amount of activities that you do, your score goes up, and that's what gives you a better chance of getting a whitelist. So hey, I wish you the absolute best. You stay consistent and keep taking action. And the people who let off the gas, you'll be able to pass them. Yeah, definitely excited. I know a lot of people are excited for the launch. So with that, does anybody else have any questions about the allocation shares, royalty shares, lock-in bonus, the way the document works? Let me know, and we'll go over that. Yeah, so Roel, that's a great question. Fantastic question. We don't have the answers to that yet, or at the very least, I personally don't have the answers to that yet because we don't actually have, we're not in that stage yet. Okay, so right now we just have the numbers, but we don't actually have the data behind what the numbers mean, if that makes sense. So right now we can be excited about the amount of allocation shares and royalty shares, but until we're actually in a place where that launches, we don't actually know what that actually means and looks like, if that makes sense. All right, so one of the things that, as you can see with the way the staking and royalties work, the VEDR ecosystem is all about innovation and all about doing things differently and raising the bar and creating new standards in the space. And one of the ways that we've been doing that is through something we call VAHL, VEDR Audited Highest Low. Okay, VEDR Audited Highest. So go ahead and write this down. VAHL stands for VEDR Audited Highest Low. Now, if you've been around the crypto space for any period of time, you know that it's really common for projects to brag and boast about their all-time high because it's the only metric in which they know how to talk and what to say, and it's like that was the old standard. You just talk about your all-time high. So if you look at the screen here, you can see this very top point, but the fact is we don't know how long that lasted. This is a 5-minute chart, so these are 5-minute candles, but that's a really long wick. And we don't know how long price was there to 6.6x. Meaning, we know that only one person sold the very top, the very, very top, because after the first sell, price dropped down a little bit. And then after the next sell, price dropped down more and more. So only one person got the absolute max on this chart. So instead of projects bragging and boasting about this all-time high, this elusive all-time high that probably wasn't attainable and not a lot of people were able to capture and could have only been there for a few seconds, VEDR came up with a term called VAHL, VEDR Audited Highest Low. Okay, VEDR Audited Highest Low. This means that if you got into a project, you had plenty of time to profit. You had plenty of time to profit. You had an hour to swap out between a 5x and a 6.6x. Okay, you're able to swap out between a 5x and 6.6x for an entire hour. Now, we do this on 3 different time frames. We do it on the 24 hours, the first 24 hours of a project. We do it on the next 7 days of a project. And then we do it on the next 30 days of a project. Okay, so the first 24 hours, we're looking for 1 hour that's above this line right here. And that's our VAHL, VEDR Audited Highest Low. Okay, and like I said, you had an opportunity to profit between 5x and a 6.6x for over an hour. DG Groovy is asking how to combine VEDR multiple accounts without losing money on the transfer. Are taxes still on? Taxes are off. 0 tax. So there's zero transfer tax now, so you can actually transfer between wallets. Now, I will say, if you are in the private cell, you want to make sure that you don't transfer your tokens out of the wallet. you're using for the private sale, because you don't want to miss out on your contributions for VSL. Okay. Someone else asks, once the whitelist contributors are finished within the 3 minutes, whitelist 2 will have to refresh or something to buy the button on it. That's what we have. I'm sorry, Bart. I don't actually know how it's going to work. In the past, I've seen projects where it just happens instantly. I actually don't know the technical side of how that's actually going to work. But I know without a doubt there's going to be a lot of information leading into the pre-sale and the launch, and everybody's going to be just fine. You're going to have plenty of information. You're going to know exactly what to do heading into the launch, whether you're whitelist 1, whether you're whitelist 2, anything like that. All the information is going to be available. Dragon, I'm actually not sure when the platform is going to be available. There's going to be AMA, I believe tomorrow, Wednesday, and that would be a great question to ask in the AMA when Jeremy's on asking the tech side of questions. He'd be a great person to ask that to. All right, so this project, Block Express, posted by Hellstrom, got a 5x for the VAHL, all-time high at 6.6x. Griffin Land, posted by Metal Ride. The VAHL's at 2x, all-time highs at 2.2x, meaning you had an hour to sell between a 2x and a 2.2x. True DeFi, posted by King Astronaut. VAHL was at 1.8x, all-time high 2.6x, meaning you had an hour to be able to sell anywhere between a 1.8x and a 2.6x. Fuel Token, posted by Hellstrom. VAHL's at 4.9x, all-time high for that time frame, 7.9x, and you're able to swap out between a 4.9x, 7.9x for over 1 hour. This is a Rare F&D. This is posted by TKM6567. VAHL was at 4.8x, all-time high 5.6x, meaning you had 1 hour to swap out between a 4.8x and a 5.6x. Dante's Amundo posted Antcoin, and you had an entire hour to swap out between a 4.2x and a 7.6x. Supercats, posted by Gordon Gecko. This one makes me smile every time I see it. We talked about this one on the call, and we had some strong opinions about it. All-time high 7.5x, VAHL 7.4x, meaning you basically had an hour to sell the top, and that's pretty close to the top. This is not something that happens frequently, but this one you could have sold pretty close to the top. Floki Marvin, posted by a user that doesn't have a username. 8.8x up to a 9.2x over an hour to be able to swap between those two. Hey, Nicole, welcome. World Cup token, posted by Dante's Amundo. 4.4x up to a 7.7x. He had an hour to swap out between those. Oh, let me go back to this one. This one is actually this was a 7-day one for World Cup token. This was 7 days. So you actually had a full 24 hours. This makes it even more spicy. Full 24 hours to swap between a 4.4x and a 7.7x. It's pretty awesome. Gordon Gecko posted iMove. This is another 7-day VAHL. 11.1x all the way up to a 7.2x. You had a full 24 hours to make a profit at that point. Block Express 30-day VAHL. I like seeing the 30-day VAHLs. This is brought to us by Radical. The VAHL's 8x. All-time high is a 13.8x. Actually, this is not Block Express. This is actually Guinean. I forgot to change the slide again. But this is Guinean. VAHL's 8x. All-time high 13.8x. And here's a beautiful thing about a 30-day VAHL. You had 7 days to swap out between an 8x and a 13.8x. Absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, let me get caught up on chat here before we talk about Meta Ruffy. Stars is asking, I have a question. So I buy 25,000 better today. What's better to do with it? Great. So when you have that, you're going to get you're going to be in the 3x multiplier. So one, that gives you the multiplier, but two, definitely take notes and watch and follow along. I'm going to show you exactly what you get access to by holding 25,000 Vetter, the CrowdX Calendar and the Vetter dApp. Ricky says, currently D2, D3 seems so far to gain the 5x multiplier. Would it be better to save my BNB for Skylab launch or just buy more Vetter? Well, Ricky, I can't give you financial advice. And there is a significant gap between D2 and D3. And there's a lot of things to factor in there. There's a lot of things to factor in there. There's different spreadsheets, and there's also a lot of variables that you just don't know. So, you could look at it from a perspective of you're just gonna, DCA in over time, and you could look at it from the perspective of, hey, that 5x multiplier is gonna make a big difference. It's literally just all up to you, and seeing what you can do. The fact of the matter is, it's really likely that as time goes on, Vetter price is going to keep going up because we can have more holders because they want to get the multiplier. And so, 3 weeks ago was bargain prices. Right now it's still bargain price, but like you said, there's a big jump between D2 and D3. And so, like I said, I can't give financial advice. I can't really give you a plan for that, but it is. I would just encourage you to do the math and play with some scenarios to have an answer to that. Dragon asked, yes, the launch is right after the pre-sale. Correct. So the project we're looking at on the screen is MetaRuffy. This project was posted to the calendar about 9 days before the actual launch of the project. MetaRuffy launched. Posted back in February. Okay, so way back when. And you had plenty of time to research this project to see if it was a good project. And it ended up having a great first 24 hours. VAHL was a 5x, all-time high is a 5.8x. That's pretty phenomenal. The next 7 days looked even better. You could have swapped out between a 16x and a 21x. You had a full 24 hours to do so. That's pretty good profit. 30 days looked even better than that. You could have swapped out between a 19x and a 53x. You had literally 7 days to make that swap. You had plenty of time to make the swap, which is, like I said, absolutely phenomenal, unheard of. It's like, that's awesome. Like, I used to tell a joke where you could go on vacation, you could have forgot about, being in the pre-sale. You forgot about the launch, and you come back, you're like, wow, hey, look, I'm up. I'm up 20x. And that actually happened to one of our scouts. Pretty cool. Now, the reason I bring up MetaRuffy, one, it's a really cool project. It's great to see high gains on multiple time frames, 24 hour, 7 day, 30 day. But I bring it up because what we're building is a database of information. Information that can support you in your research, but also it is massive networking. Networking with other users. I mean, look at all of us on the line right now. Like, these are your allies, your teammates, so to speak. Your teammates for financial freedom. You know what I mean? And working together, finding projects, getting insights, it's a win-win. So when you think about it like that, think about it from another perspective and connecting with developers and project owners and teams. See, once a project has a successful launch and they're looking to expand their ecosystem, if you've known that they've done it once before and were successful, you know that they have a great reputation, they're doxed, they have experience, there's a community that supports it, those are really good clues that they could duplicate and they could do it again. And Vetter's a great example of that. We launched back in October. All-time high was over a 33x. We have multiple, VAHLs for the different time frames. Over 10,000 and a half active users worldwide. Price never dropped below pre-sale price. As Mike shared earlier today, we're sitting at, close to 13x, 14x above, pre-sale price. Right now, it's just absolutely phenomenal. When you find teams like that, you want to make sure you're following what they do. You guys are in the right place at the right time, tuning in to Vetter and Skylabs, because again, that's about how you position yourself to win. It doesn't mean that it eliminates all risk. What it does mean, though, is that it definitely puts probabilities and stacks probabilities in your favor that it's going to do well. It's less risky than a brand new team that you don't know. Okay, less risky than that. Okay, Leo asks, rough guess, how many VSL 3 BNB will get on the whitelist 2? I believe it's, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it 775,000 per 1 BNB for the pre-sale? Someone dropped that in chat. I believe it's 775,000. Star says, imagine the potential with 1 million people doing this. Yeah, that's what's really cool. What's really cool is people collectively working together, finding projects, getting insights, sharing, and that's one of my favorite parts about the community. I've been able to meet and develop friendships and relationships with people all over the world, and it's made a drastic impact on my life, and we're able to learn and grow and work with each other. It's so much fun. I'm literally having the time of my life. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the calendar. And I just want to show you how simple it is to navigate the CrowdX dApp and calendar. As Phyllis is saying, definitely there is an AMA tomorrow. Be sure to check out the Telegram to get the details on that. It'll be a fantastic AMA for the entire community. I know a lot of people are going to be incredibly excited about that. So when you go to the Vetter board, this is basically showing you everything on the platform here. There's a lot of stuff going on, but this is a rundown of the calendar, which we'll look at in a moment. Right here is the gains. You can see user-reported gains. These are users on the platform who are getting gains, and then some of them even tipping the scouts because of the gain that they made. Really cool model of supporting and working with each other and encouraging each other. I do want to show this real quick before we jump into the calendar. This is Vetter University. Okay, this is where, hey, thank you, Vidal. Appreciate it, brother. So this is where you can find resources and information, whether you are brand new in the crypto space or you're a veteran. There's resources and information here to support you no matter what stage in development that you're in. Okay, so you can find information on how to get a plan, how to utilize a calendar platform. If you're brand new, whether you should use Trust Wallet or MetaMask or all the nuances with that. We also record these sessions. Okay, so we've been recording these sessions for months. You can just go in there and get that information and just kind of upload that information to your brain to support you in your own research. Vetter University is absolutely powerful, and as we continue to develop the ecosystem, this is going to be a huge, huge resource in the crypto space. Let's go ahead and check out the calendar here. This is the CrowdX Calendar. When you hold a Vetter token, you get access to the CrowdX Calendar. Okay, now you may be thinking, wow, there's a lot of projects. There are. It would take a full-time job to keep track of every one of these projects, to do research on every one of these projects, to get into launches, to get out of the launches and profit. It would take an enormous amount of work. And that's the whole idea and concept of the crowdsourced model. It's people coming together with different walks of life, different background, different experiences, and everybody just doing a little bit of their part. Sharing a little bit of information here, asking some questions over here, connecting with a dev over here. That's the beauty of what the community is. Okay, just literally being a part of Telegram is a massive asset, and plugging into these calls, plugging into these sessions. I was talking to a community member last week, and we just thought, just the idea. If you were able to plug into these sessions, we do these sessions 2 days a week, you literally could have learned how to work this process and find quality pre-sales to get into, because we're always talking and showing different projects, different gains, and getting different results. But that's the beauty of the platform, is a crowdsourced model. So how does this work? Okay. Well, what happens is a scout will come along, and they're going to find a project. They're going to do all the heavy lifting. They're going to go and they're going to research Twitter and Reddit and YouTube and Telegram, and they're going to find a project they think is worth posting. And when they post it, they actually get paid in Vetter. Okay, they actually get paid in Vetter, meaning you can actually start in one tier and work yourself up to other tiers by contributing to the platform. A scout's going to come along. They're going to provide some basic information about the project. Project name, Telegram, website, when it's going to launch, what network it's on, whatever information they can find, the comments about the project. It's going to be really basic information. And this scout, Hellstrom, does a great job. He provided a lot of information just on this scouting report. And then what you'll see sometimes is a vetter will come along and they will vet the project. Okay, so a vetter will come along and they will add additional information. They'll go in deep about the Telegram. Is it vibrant or not? They'll go in deep about the team, AMAs, a short summary, even talking about the contract or tokenomics, the audit. And what this allows you to do as a user is now to sift and sort looking for specific projects that you want to look for. Okay, so maybe you're all about Ethereum-based projects. Over here, you can click Ethereum. And now just Ethereum projects come up, and now you can start your research like that. And you can say, okay, this is what this person posted. You can start researching it and think about, okay, is this a project you want to look more into? You do a little bit more research. Maybe you like the fact that there's massive red flags. This one doesn't have one, but you like the fact that there's massive red flags. And you're like, hey, you know what? It doesn't have an audit. The team's not doxed, so on and so forth. And what that allows you to do is save yourself time. Instead of doing all the research yourself, someone's already done the heavy lifting for you. Okay? Sybil asks, it seems it'd be awesome to create such dApps for the other chains as well, like Solana and others. Sybil, I'm not exactly sure what you mean as far as the dApp, because we actually do have a whole bunch of different networks on the dApp. So not just for Binance, not just for Ethereum. You're able to sift and sort through a variety of networks, and the Launchpad will also have multiple networks as well eventually. Okay. Another way to sift and sort is to sort based on Launchpad. Let's say that you're looking for projects that are launching on PinkCell. Okay, so there's all the projects launching on PinkCell. Another way you could sift and sort is to sort by category. Let's say you're all about gaming projects. When you click gaming, these are gaming projects. And now you can look at that. You can look at gaming projects. You can sift and sort based on utility. You're like, hey, forget the games, forget the memes, I'm all about utility. And this allows you to sift and sort that way. Oh, it's all good, Sybil. Yeah, we host this, the network is constantly expanding and growing. So whether it's Binance, whether it's Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, like if there's projects launching in the space, we're going to have our hands in it and supporting the community with finding those projects. Yeah, Vidal says that's why Vetter VSL is a game changer, already has it built in. Absolutely. Stars is asking about VSL. Stars, can you follow up that comment with or can you add more to that question so we know what you're asking? So that's how you're able to sift and sort through these projects and to narrow your focus. Like I said, it would take a full-time job to be able to manage, to find, manage, get into, and make profit in all these projects. And the beautiful thing is you don't have to do that. You can just do your part, and everybody wins because we're all working together collectively. You can also sift and sort based on IDOs, fair launches, pre-sales, and private sales. And as you guys have probably heard in the AMAs, scouts and veterans will have an active role, and the community will have an active role in what projects we're launching off of VSL, and scouts will have the opportunity to scout and report on projects launching on VSL, and that's how the ecosystems are tied together. It's pretty phenomenal. So that's how we sift and sort on the calendar. Let's go ahead and take a look at some projects. I saw today that Radical has been added again. I don't know if he's still on with us, but brother, if you're still there, hey, again, congratulations on the second edition in your family. He had a new baby, and he's been on vacation, been on daddy duty lately, understandably so. But he has posted a couple of projects. I did want to take a look to see just see what we can see on some of these projects and get a feel for what's going on. Also, if there's a project you want to look at, feel free to drop it in the chat, and we can pull it up and take a look. So Soccer Doge, I used to play soccer, and I'll say this embarrassingly, I don't even recall if World Cup is coming up or not. I have been a little too busy to be even thinking about it, but I've also noticed a lot of projects talking about soccer, and that's why I was thinking maybe something was happening. So you can let me know how out of touch with the real world I am in the comments by letting me know what's going on in the world with soccer right now. But I have noticed a handful of projects popping up with soccer, and they've done pretty good. So it could be there are trends in the space. There for a while, all the e-news were not doing good, and then Radical comes back like old McDonald, posting all different kinds of e-new projects, and they're doing great. And the fitness side of dApps was a trend, and the high APY side of things was a trend. And right now, of the projects being posted for soccer related stuff, it's actually doing pretty good. Okay, so Phyllis says World Cup. Okay, good. I figured that was the case, but like I said, I haven't taken the time to actually dig in and see what was going on. So let's just go ahead and take a look at this project. And so there's things that I'm looking for when I'm looking at a project. And just so we're on the same page, I want to say this. Anything I talk about on these sessions is not financial advice. Okay? What I say is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research. Any kind of feedback I'm going to give you would be strictly mindset and head game type stuff, not financial advice. Okay? And so the Vetter platform is also a research tool. It's a tool. It is not a crystal ball. It is not a, hey, look, this project's going to be a 10x. That's not how this works. It's a research tool to support you in finding crypto pre-sales that have the chance at giving you the kind of gains that you want to have. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's go ahead and pull this up. There, actually, I got the background going on here. Let me close that. There we go. All right, let's pull up the website. Okay, so the first thing I want to do whenever I'm looking at a project, first thing I look at the scout, and being a part of the auditing team, I have a pretty good understanding of the scouts, their kind of makeup and culture, and their background and their style, and that kind of creates like a user profile, and I kind of have a vibe and feel for how the scouts operate. And because of that, what we're saying is it's called KSP, Knowledge Assistant Performance. I know what certain scouts look for. I know how certain scouts perform because I've looked at so much data. And so Radical would fall on the lines of more meme type projects. Okay, the scout is who I'm talking about. More meme type projects, however, quality meme type projects, meaning more often than not, these projects are doing very well instead of being rug pulls. Okay, and that's just one of the things that I've known from studying some of these users. Okay, so I always take that into account. So Radical post a project, it's always on my radar. Okay, always on my radar. Now, if you don't know this, let me go back just 1 second. You can click on the scout's name right here, and it's going to take you to their tracker page. And you can click right here, click follow. And you're going to be able to follow this scout. So whenever they post a new project, you're going to know about it. Okay, you're going to know about it. All right, so Soccer Doge. First off, it's definitely like a little meme type project. And so we got dogs and doggos, and we got soccer. We have like an app. Okay. I would imagine that the team is not going to be doxed. Okay, so we have names and titles. Based on this, I just figured it was just they're not going to be doxed. It is what it is. But they have names and titles. That's not that doesn't do much for me at all. I'm curious if there's any more details about them on their white paper. Let's take a look. Okay, white paper doesn't go anywhere. Doesn't do anything. Okay, no problem. White paper doesn't do anything. Next thing I want to look at is, we could look at that, since we're here, we could look at their their Twitter real quick. Okay, 2,000 followers. I like that. I like seeing that, 2,000 followers, which means, you know, it looks kind of real and organic. I can appreciate that. Okay, so let's go over to Telegram. All right, so we have 4,300 members. And the next thing I want to check is, so I checked the member count, okay? And I want to check the pinned messages. So we have 21 pinned messages. And what I'm looking for is how active are they, and are they communicating with their community? So today is August 16th. The first pinned message is August 2nd. So I just want to get a feel for how old the group is. And it looks like, well, anything above this has either been deleted or the group's, you know, recently formed. When I say recently, I mean within the last 2 weeks. Okay, which is not a problem. You know, we're just kind of getting a feel for the community. Okay, and it looks like right away, the group was formed August 2nd, and right away, they're doing AMAs or some type of collaboration with Venom. Okay, so they're doing some type of activity. Okay, because of that, I would be curious. I would suspect that they probably have a previous project. Is what I would expect. So let's see what we can see in the pinned messages here. Let's see, where was the pre-sale at? Okay, it's on Pink Cell. Let's take a look. Okay, so it's on Pink Cell. Okay, the project is whitelist only. Now let's go back to Telegram. Let's see what we can do for whitelist. Okay, it looks like they're doing whitelist giveaway. To be a part of the whitelist, you get to be active. Okay, so most active members. Community activities. Okay, so I guess they're kind of like what we're doing for the shill contest. It looks like that's what they're doing to give whitelist spots away. Okay, so we're actually paying for shilling right now, and then it looks like they're giving whitelist away for shilling. So right here, when you buy on pre-sale, we're pretty sure you'll get a pretty high return. We did a 5x on the last project, but this time pre-sale is lower to make the people get a higher return. So yeah, based on the way the group was looking, I figured that they had prior experience. Now nothing said that anywhere. Nothing said that anywhere. You know, I read that. I just kind of picked that up based on what was based on the stuff I was seeing. It just had a vibe that like they had done this before. But yeah, so I'm curious what the last project was. Okay, so it says Debs had a previous project and it did well. Looks like they did calls with Caesar as well. Okay. Let's see what the communication is like. So right now it's 3:54 my time. And so people are talking a little bit. So not a whole lot of substance, at least right now, this time of day. Okay, with pre-sale being tomorrow, it'd be, there's not a ton of stuff going on, but again, it could be the time of day that's going on here. Yeah, seeing Caesars, seeing Venom, that's a good sign. I've seen projects, so through my volume of launches through KSP, I've seen there's certain call groups and certain AMA groups that tend to yield better results than others. And I've seen consistently that a combination of Caesars and Venom together is projects tend to do good. Okay, so we don't know much about the team aside from the fact that they've had previous projects that have done well. It's likely that some of the community is following them around project to project. Now, having said that, something to think about is just because they've had prior success, this could be a money management consideration. So I want to throw out this question and let you guys answer. If you found a team that had prior success and they did really good, and now they're launching another totally different project, it's not tied to the ecosystem, would you want to keep your money there long term? Yes or no? Okay, just drop that in the chat. If you found a team that had prior successes and they're launching a new project that doesn't say anything about the previous project, would you want to leave your money there long term? Yes or no? Okay, so let's look at, we don't know anything about the age of the team. We don't know about the prior, we just know that they've done a little bit. Let's see what was on Pink Cell for, so we have the KYC, we have the audit. We don't have the SAFU, which is kind of interesting. This doesn't mean much of anything. We'll see what the audit is. Yeah, Henry says no. No. Leo says no. That's right. I personally wouldn't want to do that because they may be good at pumping, and that's great. So maybe this is a project that if you were to get into, this is how you'd want to determine your money management. So instead of doing a RIP FT, which RIP FT is recoup investment in your profit, RIP, FT means you leave free tokens in. Knowing that the team has prior success, and they've done good, they're expecting a big launch on this one, but there's no indication of what the previous project was, that tells me that they just kind of maybe jump around from project to project, and it would be in my best interest to get my money out as soon as possible. Take my money and run. Take my money and run, okay? Hussam is asking, how are only 32 people watching this? Well, Hussam, brother, hey, share it. Go share this on Twitter. Go share this in Telegram groups. Let people know that we're live. We're live on YouTube, dropping knowledge. Hey, are you guys getting some good stuff out of this today? Is this what we're talking about helpful? The thought process as we're discovering and talking about different projects, is this helpful? Is this beneficial? Are you finding value here? Leo brings up a good question. Why wouldn't they want their past success known and tie it in? Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, Vedder has good intentions. We want our previous success to be known because it's all part of the ecosystem and it helps Skylabs. So now the question is, okay, they had a previous, this team here, Soccer Doge here, they had a previous successful project, but they're not talking about it. What happened? Did they just run it out and when it was done, they moved on to something else? Why? Because they're not really creating anything new. They're not really innovating. They're just taking another contract and putting a cute little dog on there. And instead of being a heart for Valentine's Day, it's now a soccer ball for the World Cup. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of things you got to kind of think about. And that's the kind of reputation that some of these teams are forming. Now, let me be very, very clear. It does not mean that this project is or is not risky. Okay? It does not mean that this project is or is not risky. It just means that if you decided to get into this project, maybe you would want to get your money out sooner than later. Okay? So, like I said, one possibility is the fact that, the first project did good and then they abandoned it. I'm sure there could be other things as well. We don't know. But, someone could ask, what was previous project? Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we could check out the pinned messages, see if there's any talk about the previous project. Aaron says, no, not necessarily. Hey, Aaron, I don't know exactly what you mean, because there's a slight delay between my video feed and the comments. So if you could chime in what you mean by not necessarily, I mean, I can add that to the conversation. I know it's going to be valuable. All right, so Lerman saying knowledge, Don saying yes, value, Henry saying always helpful, you're absolutely welcome. Stars saying thank you so much, it's perfect for your first. Absolutely, absolutely, yeah, your first day for sure. Grown Inspired says, yep, great value. Leo, yes it is. Just hoping you are going to tell me a loophole so I can buy 100,000 worth of veteran pre-sale. In VSL, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, wouldn't we all like to show up to the pre-sale with a max limit of 3 BNB and drop 100K? Oh, that's great. All right, so let's keep going. So the couple of other things that I'm looking for would be the audit. I got distracted a minute ago. Let's see what the audit was. Oh, it never came up. That's why. Oh, Interfi. Okay. We get to ask Metalorad. I need to get Metalorad. He has a list of these audits. He's ranked them on quality versus how good they are versus price. And so we need to get that list from him so we can start looking at these audits and say, hey, this is a good one, this is a okay one, okay? All right, next up. The last thing that I want to look at is marketing. Let's see if they say anything about marketing in here. Marketing plans. Oh, so it looks like... Chinese marketing and utilities planned. Chinese marketing utilities plan. Looks like they were giving away whitelist for dropping stickers in different groups. We've been seeing some of that in our group lately. Lots of stickers coming through with different groups in there. Pretty cool to see everybody's community and vibe. So the last thing I'm curious about is revenue. And I don't necessarily suspect that if I search this, I'm going to get an answer. We tried to look at the white paper and there was nothing there for us. I would imagine that maybe they're going to try to build some revenue through their dApp. Let's see what it says here. The spirit of football represents team spirit. The Soccer Doge team and community will be the strongest team. We can come together to make football culture and football economy greater through cryptocurrency. That doesn't really tell me much. So we got soccer economy, soccer NFTs, soccer memes, and soccer games. That's kind of interesting. So I haven't talked about this a lot lately. But one of the things I'm looking for is continuity. And what I mean by that is I want to make sure that the language that they're talking about in the white paper is the same as on the website, is the same that's in socials. And so this threw me off because right here, it's called Soccer Doge. But right here, the spirit of football. And so they reference football 2 times in the sentence. So it gets me on that mindset of like an international community calling it football. But then the project is called Soccer Doge. But then they say, like I said, so anyway, this is not a big deal. It's just something I'm looking for consistency and clear marketing, clear messaging throughout all their stuff. So this is a meme project. Okay, this is a meme project, and I will say this project may not have a lot of stuff going for it, but one of the things it does have going for it, is the fact that the team does have a prior success. Okay, the team does have prior success with a previous project. I'm a little unsure of why they didn't share what that project was, but that's okay. Something to factor in: Radical. Radical's a great scout. Okay, Radical's a great scout. Let me actually pull this up. This will be really good. I want to show this for this example, what I'm talking about right here. This will be a really good thing to end on, okay? So Radical's a great scout. Look at his track record. He's a purple scout. The last stats that I know, I don't know his active stats right now. One of the last stats that I know is that he had a 90% success rate posting meme projects. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. 90% success rate posting meme projects. So like Radical is the king of the memes. Okay, and so I take that into account because what he is saying, there's something there. There's something worth it there. Okay. Whether his scouting methods, his source for finding projects, it's worth it to look into. So I want to go over a project and show exactly what I mean by this. We're going to look up our friend Gordon Gecko. Gordon Gecko posted a project, and we all kind of laughed about it, and rightfully so. But let's go ahead and pull up the website here. And as soon as you see the website, I just want you to say, is this a great looking website or is this like a joke? Okay, type in great or type in joke. Okay, so here's a website, Supercats. And I'm not necessarily against this image. It's kind of cool. It looks really good on the images that I made for the chart. It looks really cool. But like, let's be real. Okay, for a website design, here's Mr. Supercat here. And, you know, Supercat's all over the place. Okay. And, yeah, you know, oh, there he is again. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There he pops up right there. And this is the website. Like, guys, we could come together right now and copy a contract, outsource a website. We could have this up and running today. Okay? It looks shady. It looks like a joke. It looks like all these things. Okay? So we go over to the vetting report and let's read what the red flags are. This is the red flags from Gordon Gecko. It says, website is weak with no white paper or audit. Okay? So we got a joke website, no white paper, no audit, no KYC prior to launch. Okay? Audit will happen not until after launch. Still have not released a contract or any details about the tokenomics. Team is not being transparent about the private sale either. They don't seem to want to release any details until launch. Be careful with this one. I don't care for the lack of transparent communication. Okay. Now, one of the things that let me just scan this real quick. Okay, I missed this part when we talked about this previously, and I think it's worth, you know, Gordon, if you're watching this, I think it's worth considering putting this in one of your reports. Here's the reason why. Dev is super connector. He has had success in meme coins prior. This right here is really important. Okay. We looked at this project. We all laughed, you know, kind of like the emojis in chat. We laughed at it and we said, oh, this is a hard pass. Because the way that website looked and because of what Gordon Gecko said, it was like, hey, I don't know if we should look at this anymore. Okay? Project ended up doing, let's see here, 24-hour VAHL was a 7.4x. Okay? 24-hour VAHL, 7.4x. The 7-day VAHL was a 8.5x. I went into Telegram, and let's go. And this is the power of the community, guys. I want you to really understand and utilize this. So I went to the Telegram, and let's type up Supercats, and let's do right here. So I wrote this report up. So here's the VAHL. You know, I shared this earlier in our introduction. And I said sometimes a project checks all your boxes and has a great pre-sale and then it tanks at launch. Meaning there could be projects out here that look like rock stars, but they don't do good. That's just part of it. That's the nature of the beast. It is what it is. Okay, we move on. We don't let it bother us. We go about our business. Okay. Other times you see so many flags that you stay away. So many red flags you stay away. That was Supercats. We're like, this ain't happening. And it ends up pumping. Okay. At launch, the project is going to do what the project is going to do. That's the game we play. Okay. Gordon Gecko clearly laid out the red flags, and everyone on the call felt the same way, meaning we passed on this. Okay. So Gordon Gecko responded to this. Let's see if we can find his response somewhere. It's in here somewhere. It was a great response. I don't see it though. Okay, I'm not going to scroll forever. Well, maybe it's gone. He ended up saying that he knew the developer. It had a lot of red flags for him, but he trusted the person because he knew the guy. That, my friends, is the beauty of this community and platform. I've often said sometimes our own subjectivity can get in the way of sometimes the very fact that Gordon Gekko posted a project has the potential to outweigh red flags. Why? Because of Gordon Gekko's reputation. Why? Because of Radical's reputation. Because of Hellstrom and PSC 100X and Metaloride and LDN 100X. Because of these scouts, Dante Zamundo. Because the scouts have built up their track record, sometimes the very fact that they post a project can outweigh personal subjectivity. I'm not saying that we should have gotten in that project. I'm not saying it should have been good. If I had known the little tidbit about the relationship between Gordon Gekko and the owner of the project, that could have made me realize, hey, there could be something here because Gordon Gekko posts great projects. It doesn't always mean the projects do good. But if you guys remember, type in the chat if you remember this. I literally said, this is really weird that Gordon Gekko would post this type of project. This is not part of his makeup, you know? Like I have like these scout ideas, these scout profile makeups where like user makeups or profiles. I said it on the call. I said, this does not look like the type of project that Gordon Gekko would post. If you remember that, type in the chat, I remember. Okay? And so now that I've seen this, now that I've had this experience, you better believe that next time I run across a project that looks questionable, I'm going to reach out to the scout and say, hey, what are your thoughts on this? I'm going to read all of what they wrote in the report, but I'm going to ask them, hey, what are your thoughts? I'm looking at this project. And the way that would work is simple. You would just go into Telegram, you would tag the scout and say, hey, I'm looking at XYZ project. You would drop the link in there and say, anybody else looking into this? And you would tag PSC 100X, or you tag Hellstrom or Metaloride or Radical or Gordon Gekko and say, hey guys, I'm looking at this project. What do you think? Why do you feel this way? Why do you like it? Why did you even post it? And that right there, my friends, is game changing. The ability to get insights that we otherwise would not have gotten is absolutely game changing. So anybody have any questions on that topic? I want to get caught up on chat, so let me look real quick. Oh yeah, so Raul asks, this is a great question, Raul. If a team is bringing a project after the failure of its old project, will that be a red flag or a green flag for that project because of their old investors? So if the old investors are getting airdrops or they're getting free tokens, that could be something to consider. There's been talks where that in and of itself could create selling pressure. And, investors may be wary. They want to get out. They want to get out as soon as possible. And so you'd want to look into that. There was a project that recently launched, and there was some problems with the development team. And they're actually going to do a V2. And they're allowing people to have a refund because they don't want people there who don't want to be there. They want to get people out as soon as possible. Okay? Now, with this particular group, the people who are staying believe in the project. So there may not be a lot of selling pressure with that particular project. It just depends on what the dynamic was. Was the group of investors sad and frustrated and irritated? Maybe so. A few weeks back, we looked at a project called ArtX, posted by Metaloride. They had a previous project, really great dev. I asked Metaloride, what are your thoughts on this project? He said, I'm worried because the team or the community is very disgruntled. They didn't like how the original version went down. That could create selling pressure. Lo and behold, the chart tanks at launch. Okay? So it's not always, Raul, it's not always white and black. It's not always green and red on, hey, you know what? This is a deal breaker or this is a deal maker. It's about stacking probabilities. It's about connecting and networking with other people in the community and then forming your own opinion based on your own risk tolerance. Great question. Thank you for asking that. Great question. Hussam asks, could you simulate this scenario? VSL starting market cap 4 million went up, for example, 20 million market cap with 1,000 stakers. How much approximately would they get in royalties? I maybe could do that offline. I couldn't do that right now, but I maybe could do that offline. Nicole says, haven't seen a team out yet. They're in a crypto world with a marketing team like ours. Absolutely. Absolutely. Leo says, Vetter's holding strong. Yes, it is. Aaron says, would you leave money in the project? Had no info. Yeah, Aaron, there's a bit of a delay. I'm going to see if I can make this a little more instant because sometimes I feel like I ask a question and then I get to go move on to something else. So there's no delay. Nicole says this is exactly why the CrowdX Calendar is so important when watching to learn more about all the different projects out there. The crypto market community input is so helpful. Absolutely. Hussam, yep, I will grab this question. I'm grabbing it right now, and I'll see what I can come up with, brother. Okay. Nicole says, I love this platform. Star says, wow, amazing. Crypto Dread, I remember that you said it was out of his realm. Paul says, on point. Leo says, is there some sort of algorithm that can be used that will automatically show the projects that your favorite scouts are showing interest at the same project? Yes. Yep. So Aaron and Crypto Dread, both of them remember I was saying it was out of his realm. Yeah, so over here, when we go to our profile, so Leo asks if there's some sort of algorithm that can be used that will automatically show the projects that your favorite scouts are showing interest in the same project. Yes. So over here, you can look at signals. Okay. And whenever you can click, I'm sorry, what am I trying to say? Whenever the people that you follow, whenever they follow a project, favorite a project, whenever they add a project to the watch list, those are notifications that will pop up in your own personal profile. Okay, so you would follow a scout. So right here, you would follow Gordon Gecko. Okay, and then in your own tracker area, okay, and also notifications up at the top, but you would get notifications right here. Okay, and so watch list. So for example, if Gordon Gecko were added something to his watch list, if he favorited a project, if he scouted a project, if he vetted a project, any of those things you're going to receive notifications in here for. And that's how you keep up to date and be on track with information that's coming across, if that makes sense. If that makes sense. And right here, your favorite, that's your personal favorites in your personal participated in. This would be all the people that you're following. This is an admin account. That's why there's nothing here. Okay. But like this would be your projects. This would be your personal watch list. What you favorited. Okay. This would be the favorite signals, meaning the favorite signals that the people you follow favorite. This would be all signals, meaning, again, let's say Gordon Gecko scouted a project, vetted a project, or added a project to his watch list. All that information would go here. Okay, and again, you can find that information on your own personal tracker page. Okay, so with that, we are as per usual. These calls usually run about an hour 15, hour 20, so we're keeping it consistent, y'all. We're keeping it consistent. But hey, this was a fantastic call. If you got value today, go ahead and just share what your biggest takeaway was in the Telegram group. You know, let the group know what they missed out on. Share what your biggest takeaway was. Share what your biggest aha was. If you felt that this session was absolutely rocking and banging, go ahead and drop comments in our Telegram group, letting everyone know what they missed out on. And our next session will be Thursday, same time. Okay, Thursday, same time. We do these sessions 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And yeah, the whole purpose, like I said, is to answer questions, connect, show projects, do a little bit of education, and support you with your crypto journey. So before we hop off, let me check this last comment here. It says, yes, there's a way to narrow the search based on your favorite scouts. In other words, let's say 3 of your scouts add to favorites. Is there a simple way to find those projects? Let's see. Leo, I will get to... yeah, it's not like that. It's a compilation. I don't know if that's the right word. A collection of all the data. I see what you're saying. So if you follow 10 scouts, you're going to see all their information, and you're asking, can you narrow it to just a handful of scouts? And to do that, perhaps maybe you just follow certain scouts. Right now that's how it works. That's how it works right now. But definitely open to those ideas of how to sift and sort. And that's a beautiful thing about this community. Come up with ideas. And on that note, I do want to say shout out to PSC100X, which is Phyllis, and Sleepyguard. They both had thrown out the idea of doing a live YouTube session. We're talking weeks and months ago. And so I want to give them credit for that. This is, their suggestion. I took that to heart, and I said, how can we make this happen? And here we are. And so I just want to give a shout out to them, Phyllis and Sleepy, phenomenal community contributors. And like I said, their ideas is why we're here on YouTube. So, yeah. So let me check up on chat real quick before we hop off here. Let's see. Yeah, Phyllis says, share this on your YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, share this video everywhere. If you have a friend that you feel like it would be beneficial, invite them to our session next Thursday, but also share this video with them. Yes, I think I pronounced it right, Jackie. Yeah, Jackie, this is a regular session, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Pacific time. Glad you're here. Glad you made it by chance. That was one of the ideas of doing YouTube Live, that maybe we could reach other people. Jackie, with you being this is your first time, I would invite you to come check out. Go ahead and subscribe to our channel, but also check out our Telegram group. I'm going to drop the Telegram link in chat, and so be sure to check that out and come say hi in our Telegram group. So let me get up the last couple messages here. Leo says, thanks for your help. You guys are amazing. Very impressed with your knowledge. Hey, thank you, Leo. I appreciate that. Sleepy and Phyllis both. Tuesday and Thursday sessions. Nicole, value equals community support. Jackie says, first time. Absolutely. Radical, love the session. Radical, brother, I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad to see some projects on the calendar, man. And again, congratulations to your newest addition to your family. Grow Inspired. In life, thanks, it was great. Leo says thanks, it could be a benefit all for the community. Absolutely, man, absolutely. So with that, thank you guys for being a part of the first time YouTube live stream. I don't know, I think this was a success. I think that we did a good job. You guys were great. I think we covered a lot of great information, and it just gives us a space to do it again next time. So with that, I look forward to seeing you guys in Telegram, and until next time, bye for now. Oh, I almost forgot. I can't just leave it like that. Our first time on YouTube, I can't just leave it like that. I got to end it like I always do. Like my mentor always said, life can be short. So for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being a part of this awesome community, because together, this is what the better ecosystem is all about. I will see you in Telegram. Bye for now.